welcome back to the dennypark English reading show. I'm going to introduce you to the Berenstain Bears and the trouble with commercials. Illustrated by Stan Jane Berenstain with Mike Berenstain. Do you like commercials? It's like, what can I say? Like this. Do you want to buy a toy? It's the best toy ever. The toy train, choo-choo, like this. And I am falling. And when I see a great commercials, I told my mom and dad, Mom and Dad, I want that toy. And Mom and Dad says, oh no, every time. And this Berenstain Bears and the Trouble with commercial book is the same thing. I want to buy everything what I wanted. Berenstain Bears and the commercial. I trouble with commercials. TV commercials are interesting indeed, but they also can make you buy stuff you don't need. Every day after school, Brother Bear and Sister Bear took a TV break before they started their homework. They got some milk and cookies, sat down in front of the TV, and watched their favorite shows. Sometimes it was the Bear Stooges or Doofus Dog. Sometimes it was Rabbit or a Wacky Warthog. But whatever it was, there was one thing that they always look forward to: the commercials. Some of the commercials are better than the shows. They have better music, better jokes, better singing and dancing. They are fun. And because they are so much fun, brother and sister always wanting what the commercials are selling. It didn't matter what it was, cereal or candy or toys or a trip to Grizzly Land. That's what they had to have. Now brother and sister, sighed Mama Bear, after the cubs had asked for the more super delicious honey sweetie breakfast treat. You haven't even finished that big box of cereal you asked for just a few days ago. But this year is extra super special, insisted the cubs. Happy Hamster, the super cereal's boss, Rodan said so. I don't care if Doofus Dog himself says so, said Mama. I'm not buying you one more thing you saw on a commercial. But a few days later, brother and sister were eating their extra super special cereal. They had pleased and pestered Mama so much that she couldn't stand it. She had given in and bought it. The old box of cereal that the cubs hadn't even finished went into the trash can. Mama grew so fed up with the cubs asking for the things they saw on commercials that she decided it was time to pull the plug on the TV. The problem was that she and Papa had favorite shows too, and they would miss them. Mama usually watched Mrs. Carola's garden show every morning, and Papa watched Fishing with Uncle Finn in the evening. Not only that, the cubs watched TV at their friend's house and came home bragging for things they saw in commercials there too. Mama was at her wit's end. Mama, brother and sister just don't seem to understand, she complained it to Papa one day when she was watering her houseplant. They don't understand that you can't buy everything you see in commercial. Why, if you do that, you'd wind up with a house full of expensive things you don't really need. Papa noticed that Mama was using her special limited edition Mrs. Clara watering can she had brought after seeing a commercial for it on Mrs. Clara's garden show. I see what you mean, he said softly. Maybe I should talk to them about that. So Papa talked to brother and sister. He complained that TV commercials are just there to sell things. He explained that commercials sometimes exaggerated a little. You can't buy something every time somebody tells you to, he said. You've got to be smart shoppers. You've got to pick and choose or you'll wind up with a lot of things you don't really need. You two understand that, don't you? Oh yes, Papa, said brother and sister. We understand. But they didn't. They went right back to asking for every Barbie doll, Space Grizzly action figure, and big bag of honey-gummy wummy bears they saw on TV. We need a plan, Papa said to Mama. They put their heads together and thought and came up with a plan. The commercial toy and candy companies always save their best commercials for Saturday morning. So the next Saturday, when the Cubs came bragging for things they saw on TV, Mama put the plan to work. This time, the great new theater that they just had to have was Rainbow Swirl Bits. The toy were banana invaders from outer space and lovely Dobby dolls. And the candy was super duper sour suckers. Mama set the cups down on the sofa away from the TV and said, now listen carefully. We're listening, said the cups. We've tried to explain to you that you can't possibly have everything you see on TV. Yes, Mama, said the cups. So here's what we are going to do, said Mama. We're going to buy all these things you're so excited about. The theater, the toys, the candy. Yippee! Cried the cops. Yippee! But, and it's a big but, said Mama, you have to promise you never to mention another commercial until you've eaten every single Rainbow Swirl bit, every single super duper sour sucker, and play with the banana invaders from outer space and lovely dolls for a whole month. Do you promise? We promise, cried the cubs. Oh, it turned out the cubs didn't like Rainbow Swirl Bits so very much. Yuck, said brother. They turned the milk purple. And then they turned to the purple mush, said sister. But a promise is a promise. The banana invaders from outer space wasn't much fun either. They are just plastic bananas with rocket guns, and there wasn't much you could do with them. And the lovely dolls had hair that you were supposed to comb, but it all came out. And the super duper sour suckers are so sour that the cubs' mouths poked up so badly that they could hardly speak. But a promise was a promise. Well, my Papa plan worked. The cubs not only kept their promise, they learned not to get too excited about the things they saw in commercials. But as it happened, not everybody learned the lesson. One thing, Papa was watching his favorite show, Fishing with Uncle Finn. When a commercial came on, it was for Uncle Finn's gory-ated magic light fishing layer. Did you see that? Cried Papa. It lights up and is gathered it to catch fish. But Papa, said Brother, how do you know it will do all those things? Well, gee, said Papa. Do you think Uncle Finn would lie? No, said Sister, but he might just exaggerate a little. Said Papa. He liked Uncle Finn a lot and watched the rest of the show, but he had second thoughts of buying Uncle Finn's graduated magic light fishing layer. The end. Thank you for reading The Berenstain Bears in the Trouble with Commercials with me. When I read this book with you, I learned a lesson. What lesson it is? I learned the lesson that you can see a commercial, but you can't buy everything you want. Thank you for reading this book with me. Bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
잘 읽었어?